Hi everybody, with this video I'm talking about the Trans-Pecos pipeline. There's an article at Food and Water Watch. It was Food and Water Watch that told us who was banking on the Dakota Access Pipeline. And immediately people began divesting from those banks. And it's had a tremendous effect that the black snake is bleeding and still bleeding. However, we come to the Trans-Pecos pipeline, and yet again, it's Food and Water Watch. There's an article here. Trans-Pecos pipeline, a monument to our economic and energy insecurities. They say in this article that banks need to maximize oil and gas production if they want to profit off the pipelines they finance. But it is at the expense of our safety and our health. This article is dated March 30th. And so they're mentioning that in the Big Bend region of Texas, that Energy Transfer is putting the finishing touches on another pipeline, the Trans-Pecos pipeline. And they say that Energy Transfer Partners is led by Kelsey Warren, who called pressure on the banks, bankrolling his company, Dakota Access, a type of terrorism, and saying that that was nonsense. And so now they're publishing a chart on saying who's banking on the frack gas exports. And again, when I say export, that means that that energy is not for domestic use. It is not for our energy independence. That oil and frack gas that gets sent out of our country, it is not for our energy independence. It does not help us with energy independence. Energy independence is energy that we use here domestically. If it's exported, we're not using it domestically. That means it's not for our independence. It is for profit. Not our profit, Kelsey Warren's profit. So it's not for our energy independence. It is not for our profit. It doesn't help us that way. All it does, that export, it makes Kelsey Warren rich and other CEOs of other groups running pipelines, both gas and oil. And so who's banking on frack gas exports? Who's banking on the pollution and contamination that's left behind to harm us, to contaminate our water and our soil and our air? Who's banking on that? Food and Water Watch is listing out the banks that are. Banco de Sabadell, Calexa Bank, Korea Development Bank, Community Trust, ING Bank, Intesa Sao Paulo, Royal Bank of Scotland, Mitsubishi Bank, Bank of Tokyo, Mitsubishi UF, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, US Bank, UBS, Barclays, BBVA Compass, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Sumitomo Mitsui Bank, Citibank, ABN AMRO Capital, Credit Agricole, BNP Paribas, Credit Suisse, DNB Capital, ASA, HSBC Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, SunTrust, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, PNC Bank, Citizens Bank, Comerica Bank, Natixis, TD, Bank of Nova Scotia, Fifth Third Bank, Ohio. And so they do have notes down here saying that RBS claims to have exited the funding relationship November 2015, but they have not provided documentation substantiating that claim. And then as of March 2017, last month, ABN AMRO, ING, and DNB Capital ASA have publicly stated that they would not do further business with Energy Transfer, but have not exited the credit facility agreements. And so this is a type of short-sightedness, a need for profit at any cost, and the cost being the health and safety of United States citizens. And that this is with the assistance of the Trump administration, the profiteering that Kelsey Warren has done has ballooned his personal fortune from $2.7 billion to $4.8 billion. And you wonder, how much money does he need? How many of us have to die, get cancer, sicken, get poisoned for him to feel like he's accumulated enough wealth? And so, with the Trans-Pecos pipeline, Energy Transfer plans to add 1.4 billion cubic feet of natural gas a day in export capacity to Mexico. So this is actually a benefit for Mexico. It's not for us. That's not our energy independence. That's Kelsey Warren getting rich. That's what that is. So anyway, there's more information in the description. I'll post this link, and you can see for yourself what's happening and the fact that there are additional pipelines, including Spectra Dude, Sapal Trail in Florida, the Atlantic Sunrise and Sunoco Logistics Mariner East Pipeline in Pennsylvania, the Atlantic Coast Pipeline in Virginia and the Carolinas, Sunoco Phillips 66 Bayou Bridge in Louisiana, Plains All American Diamond Pipeline that's going through Oklahoma, Arkansas into Tennessee, over the Mississippi River, the Constitution and Pilgrim Pipeline in New York, Enbridge's Line 3 and 5 in Minnesota and Michigan, Kinder Morgan's Trans Mountain Pipeline in British Columbia, and then the TransCanada's Keystone XL across many provinces and states. And so I'll post a link in the description, and you can see the extent of the damage that is happening with the pipelines, and the ways in which people have found to battle those pipelines by defunding them. Food and Water Watch has taken the lead in providing the research, and the rest is up to us to divest. Good luck.